Alright guys, today we're going to take a look at two new pixie dust powders. We're going to start off with one called Schuma, then we're going to wrap this video up with another one called Skeletor. So let's get over here and find out what they look like. So as I mentioned, we're going to start this off with this Schuma powder. I'm going to go with 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I want a pretty heaping scoop of this. I want it to be a pretty strong color, a pretty saturated color, I guess. So if this color turns out the way I'm thinking, I've got some new flake that I also want to try in it, and I think all of them together will tie into each other really well. And just like in the past videos, I'm going to start with 10 drops of this. So there's 10, and I might add the 5 more, but we'll see where this gets us. So I'm hoping the camera is picking it up when I stir this. It's kind of got like, so you can see the like pinkish purple color on top, but then it's kind of got like a brownish accent to it. But what I think I want to do is go ahead and add the 5 more drops and go to the 15 drops total. And then, because I do want this color to be pretty strong, I don't want it to be a translucent color. And we might even go just a hair more. I haven't quite decided yet. Let's see. So I'm going to leave the color right where it's at. And this is the glitter that I was talking about. So I picked up some of this cinnamon colored glitter. And my thought is, so cinnamon purple is one of my favorite colors for stick bait. So you can see that pixie dust has that purplish color, but it kind of has those hints of brown. So I'm hoping adding some of this cinnamon flake will actually look really, really good. It's almost like a reverse cinnamon purple at that point. And then what I'm going to do, just for a little bit of texture, I'm going to take some of the large 0.062 black flake and just add just a touch. That was about 3/4 of a scoop with my 1/8 teaspoon. And then I'm also going to take the small purple and I'm going to put just a touch. So you can see right there, that's on 1/8 of a teaspoon. So it's probably closer to a 1/16. But we'll get all that flake stirred in. I'm going to get all this stirred in. I'm going to make sure we're at the right temp. And then we're going to make some craws. It's time to take a look at how these turned out. Oh yeah, just like I had hoped. You guys know the drill. Let's take a close-up look. And there you have it, guys. That is another way to make cinnamon purple. This is kind of like a backwards cinnamon purple. You typically have more of a cinnamon colored plastic and then purple flake. Whereas this one, you get more of that purple color in the plastic and then you get that cinnamon flake. Those two colors play off of each other fantastic. I am really pleased with both of those, the pixie dust and that new flake that I picked up. You can see in the claws, when I turn it at the right light, you can see how it almost matches perfectly. The pixie dust, the way it changes from the purple to kind of that greenish brown color, you almost lose that flake in certain lights because of how well it matches up. That turned out really, really cool. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Now let's move on to our next one. All right, now we're going to move on to the Skeletor pixie dust. So everything we're going to use in this color build I've never used before. So this is going to be a first for all of us. So just like the last one, a heaping 1/8 of a scoop for the Skeletor. Get all this powder mixed in. Then we'll add our black and watch all of this come to life. Now on this one, I am only going to go with 10 drops of black because I don't want this one to be too thick. Here goes our 10 drops. Now let's watch all this come together. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. So that's what we're going to do with the top side. And I'll do like the last video, I'll add all the flake at the end. So for the bottom side, I'm going to go with 1/16 of this turquoise Hi-lite. I've never used this one before. I've had it for a little while, but not really sure why I haven't used it yet. So let's get all this Hi-lite powder mixed in. As you can kind of see here, this is what I was mentioning in the other video on how some of these powders, like these Hi-lite powders, when you go to stir them, they kind of splash all around the cup. Those pixie dust powders seem to actually settle really well and mix in pretty well. So we'll get all that stirred in here in a minute. That's a pretty cool color. Like I said, I've had this turquoise Hi-lite for quite a while, and that's the first time I've added it to a cup of plastic. All right, for flake, I'm going to go with this lavender, and I'm going to use the small 0.015 size. I'm going to take my 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm only going to go with about half a scoop or so. I'm not going to go a full scoop. And then on the bottom side, I'm going to go with this color called Steel. It's kind of like a silvery blue, and I'm going to do the same amount, just about, it's about half of my 1/4 teaspoon. My 1/8 teaspoon just has a lot of stuff on it, or else I would use that. So let's get these all stirred in. I think this Steel color, it's kind of like a silvery looking color, but it's just going to add that little bit of blue hint to it. And I think it's going to look pretty good. So we'll mix all of that in here in a second. Now let's move over here to our lavender. I think this color is going to turn out really, really cool. We're going to be making some of our 3.8-inch swim baits out of that Kirby Designs mold. Oh man, that color looks great. All right, let's get these up to even working temps and make this first run. All right, let's see if we can get this thing open somewhat neatly. Probably the best demolding I've had out of this mold. All right, what do you guys think of this one? Let's dive in a little closer. And there's a good look at that color. I think it turned out fantastic. So you can see, looking at it from the side, that belly still looks fairly clear. And then as you rotate it, that turquoise starts to play off of that top color. And then, of course, that pixie dust just looks incredible. The amount of color shift, I really wish I could figure out how to get this to come through on camera, but it looks incredible. And that little bit of flake on both sides just added that little bit that it needed. So you can see right there that Steel color in the belly. It's really silver looking, but just has a tiny hint of blue in it. And then that lavender flake on the top matches really, really well with that color. But there is a good look. This mold is just really, really fun to shoot. You can get all 8 of those in one injection, and you can see they look incredible. Laminates all the way through the tail. Fantastic mold. Let me know what you guys think. And there you have it, guys. Another look at a couple of those pixie dust colors, along with some of the new flakes that we picked up. As always, I will leave everything that we used in today's video linked down in the description below. Hopefully you guys liked this and enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one.